Get comfortable with English and Comfort Zone. This is your English listening practice podcast to help you learn and improve naturally.
Welcome back to English in Comfort Zone, the podcast where learning English feels as natural as your morning coffee. I'm Ken.
And I'm Ariana. This is the place where you can improve your English while you relax, unwind, or even drift off to sleep. No pressure, no stress, just real English that you'll actually use.
You know, Ariana, sometimes learning English can feel overwhelming, right? Like you need to memorize an entire dictionary or master every grammar rule in existence.
Absolutely, Ken. It really can feel like a mountain of endless words and complex rules. But here's something interesting that might surprise our listeners. A lot of everyday English isn't actually about knowing thousands of individual words.
That's so true. It's really about understanding and using common phrases that native speakers naturally weave into their conversations every single day. We hear these phrases everywhere, in movies, TV shows, casual conversations with friends, even when we're ordering food or greeting someone.
Exactly. These ready-made phrases can instantly make you sound more confident and natural, even if you're still building your vocabulary. You don't have to construct every sentence from scratch, which is honestly a huge relief.
And they're incredibly practical too. You can start using them right away in so many different situations. Today, we're sharing 30 common English phrases that you'll hear and use every single day. These are truly the building blocks of everyday English conversation.
We use these phrases with our families, with our friends, at work, when we're shopping, basically in every aspect of daily life. Mastering them will genuinely boost your English fluency and give you more confidence when speaking.
So get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, maybe some tea or just water, and let's dive into these essential phrases together.
All right, let's start with our first phrase, which is really common and has such a relaxed feel to it. Go with the flow.
Oh, I love this one, Oriana. Go with the flow is all about being flexible and easygoing. It means to relax and adapt to whatever situation comes your way, instead of trying to control everything or resist when things change.
It's about being flexible and accepting things as they naturally unfold. So if your plans change unexpectedly, instead of getting stressed or frustrated, you just go with the flow and make the best of the new situation.
Perfect example. If your friends suddenly suggest doing something different than what you originally planned, you could say, "Oh, I don't really mind. I'll just go with the flow." It shows you're easygoing and adaptable.
Or imagine you're traveling and something unexpected happens, like a train delay. You might say, well, it's a bit of a delay, but we'll just go with the flow and enjoy this extra time we have.
Let's try using it in a quick conversation. "Hey, Ariana, our original plan got canceled. What do you want to do instead?"
Oh no, well, no worries, Ken. I'm feeling pretty relaxed today, so I'll just go with the flow. What do you suggest we do?
See how natural that sounds. Go with the flow is such a great phrase for showing you're easygoing and flexible.
Now let's move to our next phrase, which is quite strong for expressing disagreement. By no means.
By no means is a very firm way to express strong disagreement or denial. It's much more emphatic than just saying no. You use it when you want to make it crystal clear that something is absolutely not true or not possible under any circumstances.
So if someone asks, are you finished with that difficult project? You could firmly respond, by no means. I still have hours of work left. Or if someone suggests you're upset about something, you could reply, by no means. I'm actually feeling very positive about it.
Let's practice this one. Ariana, did you manage to get any sleep last night with all that construction noise?
By no means, Ken. It was completely impossible to sleep with all that racket.
Perfect. So remember, by no means means definitely not or absolutely not.
Our next phrase is out of the blue. This phrase perfectly captures something that happens completely unexpectedly, suddenly, without any warning whatsoever.
It's like something just appears without any prior indication or hint. It describes a surprise event or sudden occurrence that catches you completely off guard.
Exactly. It means something happened without any previous signs or clues. For example, if an old friend from high school calls you after many years of no contact, you could say, "He called me completely out of the blue."
Or, the company announced major changes to our project out of the blue. Nobody was expecting it at all. Let's try it in conversation.
Ken, you won't believe what happened. I received a job offer from my dream company today.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. That came totally out of the blue. Congratulations, Oriana.
So, out of the blue means suddenly and unexpectedly without any warning.
Our next phrase is on second thought. This is a phrase we use when we've changed our mind about something we just said or considered.
It indicates a slight shift in our decision or opinion. It's like saying, "Wait a minute, I've had another idea," or "actually, maybe not."
Exactly. It introduces a revised thought or new perspective after your initial one. For example, you might first say, "I'll have a coffee," and then add, "On second thought, actually, I think I'll have tea instead."
Let's try a quick practice. Ken, are you planning to go to the birthday party tonight?
Yeah, I think so. On second thought, maybe I should stay home and get some rest instead.
See how Ken first agreed but then changed his mind? On second thought, signals that change perfectly.
Next up is the bottom line. The bottom line refers to the most important or essential point in any discussion, situation, or explanation. It's the main takeaway or the crucial factor that really matters.
It's like getting straight to the heart of the matter. It cuts through all the extra details and focuses on what's most important to understand.
For instance, if you're discussing the costs of a project, you might say, after all the calculations and considerations, the bottom line is that we've gone over budget. It's the key piece of information everyone needs to grasp.
Let's try it. We've talked about all the different options and possibilities for our vacation, but what's the most important thing to remember?
The bottom line is that we need to make a decision by tomorrow morning if we want to get those early booking discounts.
In other words, the bottom line means getting straight to the most important point.
Now we have lost for words. This is a phrase we use when we're so surprised, shocked, or overwhelmed by something that we literally can't think of anything to say.
It's like being completely speechless. It implies a temporary inability to speak because your emotions or the situation has left you without any words.
For example, when she won the award, she was completely lost for words. This means she was so overwhelmed with emotion that she couldn't speak. Or, when I saw the damage to my car, I was lost for words, which expresses shock.
Let's try it out. Ken, I have some incredible news. You got the job.
Wow, I don't know what to say. I'm completely lost for words right now.
See how Ken couldn't immediately respond because he was so surprised and happy? Lost for words perfectly captures that overwhelming feeling.
All right. Next we have take a leap of faith. This phrase means to do something important or difficult even when you're not completely sure about the outcome, because you believe it will be good or right.
It's like making a significant decision or taking a big step when you don't have all the answers yet. It often involves taking a risk, but it's a risk you feel is necessary or important.
It's about having courage and trusting the process. For example, if someone is thinking about starting a new business but is worried about the uncertain future, you might tell them, sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and believe in your idea.
Perfect example. Or, she decided to quit her old job and move to a new city without having a job waiting for her. It was a real leap of faith.
Let's try this. I'm thinking about going back to university, but I'm really worried about the cost and the time commitment.
I understand your concerns, but sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and trust that it will work out for your future.
See how it encourages someone to be brave and commit even when things feel uncertain?
Next up is a very relatable phrase. On the tip of my tongue. This perfectly describes that frustrating feeling when you know something like a word or a name, but you just can't remember it at that exact moment.
That's exactly it. It means you're almost able to recall it, but it's just out of reach, right there almost ready to be said. It's so frustrating when that happens.
You feel like you definitely know it, but it just won't come out of your mouth. For example, I know his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember it right now.
Or, I'm trying to remember that movie I watched last week. The title is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite get it.
Let's use it in conversation. Ken, what was that restaurant called? The one with the amazing pizza?
Oh, I know exactly which one you mean. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite remember the name.
That's such a common experience that we all have.
Next up is go figure. This is a casual phrase we use when we're talking about something that's surprising, puzzling, or ironic. It's like saying, "Isn't that strange?" or "Can you believe that?"
It's often used when something happens that doesn't quite make sense or is just completely unexpected. It expresses mild surprise or sometimes a bit of resignation to something odd.
You use it when something seems illogical or hard to explain. For instance, I studied all night for the exam, but I still got a low score. My friend didn't study at all and got an A. Go figure.
That's such a classic example. It's used when something seems unfair or just plain weird.
Let's try it out. Oriana, the new park opened today, and it's already packed with people even though it's pouring rain.
Really? It's raining heavily and everyone's still there? Go figure.
Now we have clear the air. This phrase means to resolve a disagreement or misunderstanding with someone by talking about it openly and honestly.
It's about getting rid of bad feelings or tension in a relationship. It's like when there's a cloudy atmosphere between people and you want to make it sunny again.
That's a perfect image, Oriana. You use it when there's some tension or an unresolved issue that needs to be discussed so everyone can feel better and move forward.
For example, Sarah and Jessica had a disagreement, but they decided to meet up and clear the air so they could be friends again. Or, there was a lot of gossip at work, so the manager called a meeting to clear the air and address everyone's concerns.
Let's try it. Oriana, I feel like there's been some misunderstanding between you and your friend lately.
I feel it too, Ken. Maybe we should sit down later and clear the air about what happened.
Next phrase is what's the catch? This is a phrase you use when something seems too good to be true and you suspect there might be a hidden problem, condition, or trick.
Yes, it implies suspicion or caution when an offer sounds incredibly easy or beneficial. You automatically wonder if there's a hidden disadvantage somewhere.
So, if someone offers you a free vacation, you might think, wow, this sounds amazing, but what's the catch?
Exactly. You're looking for the hidden cost or the tricky part. Or if a new product promises incredible results with no effort, you might ask, what's the catch? It's about looking for the fine print, the part that isn't immediately obvious.
Let's use it in conversation. Oriana, I found a new English course online, and it's completely free and promises fluency in just 1 month.
Um, that sounds amazing, Ken, but what's the catch? Is it really that simple?
What's the catch is your way of saying I'm a bit suspicious. Tell me the hidden truth.
Next up is jump to conclusions. This phrase means to make a decision or judgment about something quickly without having all the facts or enough information.
It's about assuming something is true too quickly, like deciding something without thinking it through properly or waiting for all the details.
You use it when someone forms an opinion or makes a judgment too fast, often incorrectly, because they haven't considered everything carefully.
For example, don't jump to conclusions just because he didn't call you back. Maybe his phone battery died, or she saw them talking and immediately jumped to conclusions that they were planning something against her when they were just discussing work.
It's a warning against making quick, uninformed judgments.
Let's try it out. Ariana, I saw Sarah packing a suitcase, so she must be leaving the company.
Whoa, Ken, don't jump to conclusions. Maybe she's just going on a business trip or taking a short vacation.
All right, next phrase is get a load of this. This is a casual phrase you use when you want to get someone's attention because you're about to share something surprising, interesting, or unbelievable.
It's like saying, listen to this or check this out. You use it to introduce something noteworthy or unexpected that you're about to tell someone.
Exactly. It's a way to prepare someone for a piece of news or information that might be a bit shocking or very amusing.
For example, I was walking home today and get a load of this. A cat was riding on the back of a dog. That's a great example.
Or, you won't believe what happened at work today. Get a load of this. They completely changed the meeting schedule at the very last minute. It's a fun way to start a story or share something surprising.
Let's practice it. Ken, you're not going to believe what I just read in the news.
Oh, get a load of this then. Tell me what happened.
Next phrase is, you live and learn. This is a phrase you say when you've made a mistake or experienced something new and you've gained new knowledge or understanding from it.
It acknowledges that mistakes are part of the learning process. It implies that you've learned a valuable lesson from an experience, often one that was unexpected or a bit difficult.
It's about realizing something new after an experience, sometimes after doing something wrong. For instance, I tried to fix the computer myself, but I made it worse. Well, you live and learn.
Or, I thought I knew everything about that topic, but after today's lesson, you live and learn. There's so much more to discover.
Let's use it in conversation. I bought that new phone without reading any reviews, and it turns out it's terrible.
Oh no, well, you live and learn, right? Next time you'll check the reviews first.
Right. Next we have, it's not rocket science. This is a common phrase we use to say that something is not very difficult or complicated to understand or do.
It means it's simpler than it might initially appear. It's a way of saying this isn't as hard as it looks, or anyone can understand this.
You use it to emphasize that something is straightforward, even if someone is making it sound overly complex.
For example, learning to ride a bicycle for the first time might seem tricky, but really it's not rocket science. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes natural. Or following these simple instructions for cooking dinner, it's not rocket science. Anyone can do it.
It's a reassuring phrase, telling someone not to overthink things.
Let's try it out. Oriana, I'm trying to figure out how to use this new coffee machine, and it looks so complicated.
Don't worry, Ken. Just follow the steps in order. It's not rocket science once you read the instructions.
Okay, let's head to our next phrase. Don't sweat it. This is a very casual and friendly phrase that means don't worry about it or don't get stressed about it.
You use it to tell someone not to worry about something, especially if it's a small problem. It's about telling someone to relax and not overthink things that aren't a big deal.
It's a reassuring phrase, letting someone know that a situation isn't as serious as they might think, or that you're not bothered by something they've done.
For example, if someone apologizes for being a few minutes late, you might say, "Oh, don't sweat it. You're perfectly on time." Or if you accidentally spill a little water, your friend might say, "Don't sweat it. It's just water. It'll dry."
It's a great phrase for everyday reassurance.
Let's try it. Ken, I'm so sorry I completely forgot to bring the book you asked for.
Ah, don't sweat it, Oriana. I can always get it later. No big deal at all.
See how "don't sweat it" immediately eases the tension?
Next phrase is round the clock. This phrase means all day and all night, continuously without stopping. It refers to something that happens 24 hours a day.
Yes, it implies something that is happening without interruption, covering all hours of the day and night.
So if a hospital's emergency room is always open, you could say the hospital operates round the clock.
Exactly. Or the construction crew worked round the clock to finish the building on time. It emphasizes continuous activity.
Let's use it in conversation. That new online store is so popular. I heard they're getting orders non-stop.
Yes, they're working round the clock to fulfill all the orders, even through the night.
Right. Round the clock means continuously 24 hours a day.
Next up is, you can say that again. This is a very common and enthusiastic phrase we use to show strong agreement with what someone has just said.
It means that's absolutely true, or I completely agree with you. It's not actually asking someone to repeat themselves, but rather emphasizing that you agree very strongly.
Precisely. You use it when you hear something that you feel is very accurate or a very good point.
For example, if someone says, "It's really hot today," you could reply, "You can say that again. I'm absolutely melting." Or if someone says, "Learning English takes a lot of practice," you could respond, "You can say that again." It's all about consistency.
It's a casual and lively way to show you're totally on board with what's been said.
Let's try it out. Oriana, this new coffee machine makes the best coffee ever.
You can say that again, Ken. It's absolutely delicious.
Next is get your act together. This is a phrase you use to tell someone or yourself to start behaving in a more organized, responsible, or effective way.
It means to improve your behavior or situation. It's like saying stop being disorganized or lazy and start being serious and effective.
You use it when someone is not performing well or is being messy or irresponsible, and they need to improve. It's often used as advice or a firm suggestion.
For example, if you want to pass your exams, you really need to get your act together and start studying seriously. Or the team lost several games in a row. They need to get their act together if they want to win the championship.
It's a direct way to tell someone to sort things out.
Let's try it in conversation. Ken, I've been feeling so unproductive lately, just wasting time on random things.
I get that feeling sometimes, Oriana. Maybe it's time to get your act together and make a daily schedule to follow.
Let's move to our next phrase, to each their own. This is a phrase we use to express that everyone has different tastes, preferences, or opinions, and we should respect those differences.
Yes, it implies that what one person likes or chooses might not be what another person likes or chooses, and that's perfectly fine and normal.
It's a way of accepting individual preferences without judgment or criticism.
So if someone tells you they love a kind of food you really don't like, you could just say, well, to each their own.
Exactly. It acknowledges that people are different, and that's okay. Or, I can't believe he chose that car color, but hey, to each their own.
It's a simple way to show tolerance and understanding of individual choices.
Let's use it in conversation. I don't understand why people enjoy exercising so much. It's just so tiring to me.
Well, to each their own, Oriana. Some people really love the feeling and the energy it gives them.
Right? To each their own means everyone has different preferences and we should respect that.
Next up is, it's a tough call. This phrase means that a decision is difficult to make because both options or sides have strong arguments, or there are significant pros and cons for each choice.
It's about a difficult choice where there's no clear, easy answer. You use it when you're faced with a problem and it's hard to decide which path to take.
For example, both candidates for the job are excellent. It's a really tough call to decide who to hire. Or should I go to the party or stay home and study? It's a tough call because I want to do both.
It expresses that you're in a tricky situation and the decision isn't obvious.
Let's try it out. Oriana, should I buy the more expensive phone with all the new features or the cheaper one that does the basic things well?
That's a tough call, Ken. Both options have their benefits.
Next phrase is see eye to eye. This means to agree with someone or have the same opinion about something. If two people see eye to eye, they share the same views and understanding.
It's about being in agreement or having a shared perspective. You use it when you and another person have similar thoughts or opinions on a topic.
For example, my brother and I rarely see eye to eye on politics. This means they usually disagree most of the time. Or, luckily, the whole team sees eye to eye on the new project direction, so we can start working immediately.
It's a clear way to express whether there's agreement or disagreement between people.
Let's try it. Oriana, do you think we should try that new cafe down the street?
Yes, we definitely see eye to eye on that. I've been wanting to try it all week.
Next phrase is the pros and cons. This is a very common phrase we use when we are talking about the advantages and disadvantages of something. Pros are the good points, and cons are the bad points.
You use this phrase when you are analyzing a situation, a decision, or an idea, and you want to consider all the positive and negative aspects carefully.
So if you're thinking about buying a new car, you would weigh the pros and cons of each model before making your decision.
Exactly. Or, before starting a business, it's important to consider all the pros and cons very carefully.
It's a very practical phrase for decision-making and thorough discussion.
Let's use it in conversation. Ken, I'm thinking about taking a long vacation next month.
That sounds lovely. Have you thought about the pros and cons of taking it then? Like busy travel times versus quieter destinations?
Right, that's exactly the kind of analysis the pros and cons refers to.
Next phrase is long story short. This is a super useful phrase we use when we want to summarize a long story or explanation very briefly, getting straight to the main point or conclusion.
It's like saying to make a long story short or in a nutshell. You use it when you've had a lot of details or events leading up to something, but you just want to share the main outcome or key information quickly.
For example, I had a lot of trouble getting to the airport, but long story short, I made my flight just in time. Or, I spent hours trying to fix my computer, but long story short, I ended up having to buy a new one.
It's a great way to save time and get to the point in a conversation.
Let's try it out. Oriana, what happened with that complicated meeting you had yesterday?
Well, it was a really long discussion with many different opinions and perspectives, but long story short, we finally reached an agreement.
Okay, what do we have next? Call it even. This means to agree that no one owes anything to the other person, usually after a small debt or favor.
It's about balancing things out so that neither person has an advantage or disadvantage over the other. It's like saying no one owes anyone anything.
You use it to settle a small balance. For example, if you bought coffee yesterday and I buy it today, we might say, let's call it even.
Or, you helped me move furniture last week, and I just helped you with your garden. Let's call it even. It's a friendly way to balance out small favors or debts.
Let's try it. Oriana, I owe you $5 from yesterday.
Oh, don't worry about it, Ken. You bought me lunch last week. Let's just call it even.
See how it easily resolves a small outstanding debt or favor.
Next we have, don't get me wrong. This is a very important phrase we use when we want to make sure someone doesn't misunderstand what we're saying, especially if our previous statement might sound negative or critical.
Yes, it's a way to clarify your intention and prevent misinterpretation. You're saying, this is what I mean, please don't think I mean something else.
So if you say something that might sound bad, you follow it with, don't get me wrong, to explain your true, more positive or neutral meaning.
For instance, I think his idea is a bit complicated. Don't get me wrong, it's a very creative idea, but maybe not practical for us here. You're clarifying you're not saying the idea is bad, just complicated.
Or, I don't really like crowded places. Don't get me wrong, I love meeting new people, but I prefer smaller groups. It's a great phrase for being tactful and precise in your English communication.
Let's use it in conversation. Oriana, I think that new movie was a bit slow.
Don't get me wrong, Ken, I appreciate the acting, but I agree the story could have moved faster.
See how, don't get me wrong, helps prevent the other person from thinking you totally dislike the movie?
Next phrase is read you loud and clear. This phrase means I understand you perfectly, or I've heard and understood your message very clearly.
It's a strong way to confirm understanding. You use it when someone has explained something important and you want to assure them you've got the message completely.
For example, if your boss gives you very detailed instructions, you could say, okay, I read you loud and clear. I'll get it done. Or, my friend told me not to be late for the meeting and I said, don't worry, I read you loud and clear.
Let's try it out. Oriana, remember the deadline for the report is absolutely tomorrow. No extensions possible.
Got it, Ken. I read you loud and clear. The report will be ready on time.
Next phrase is make ends meet. This phrase means to earn just enough money to cover your basic living expenses without going into debt.
It's about having just enough to survive financially. It implies a financial struggle, or at least a situation where money is tight and you need to manage carefully.
You use it when someone is talking about managing their finances carefully to cover rent, food, bills, and other necessities.
For example, it's hard for many families to make ends meet with the rising cost of living. Or, after losing her job, she struggled to make ends meet until she found a new one.
It's a common phrase in conversations about budgeting and financial challenges.
Let's try it. Ken, how are you finding things since you started your new part-time job?
It's okay, Oriana, but it's still a bit tough to make ends meet every month.
Now we have, you win some, you lose some. This is a phrase we use to accept that life has both successes and failures, and you can't always win every time.
It's about acknowledging that things don't always go your way. It's a way to express a philosophical or realistic view about life's ups and downs.
It helps you accept setbacks without too much disappointment. So if you try something new and it doesn't work out, you might just say, you win some, you lose some.
It's a phrase for showing resilience and a healthy perspective. Or, I really wanted that promotion, but I didn't get it this time. Oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Let's use it in conversation. Ken, I spent hours preparing for that presentation, and it didn't go as well as I hoped.
Ah, I know that feeling. But hey, you win some, you lose some. The important thing is you tried your best.
Right, and that brings us to our last phrase for today, which is keep me posted.
Keep me posted is a very common and useful phrase that means keep me updated or inform me regularly about the situation or progress.
It's about asking someone to continue sharing news or developments with you. You use it when you want to receive ongoing information about something.
You use it when you're interested in the outcome of a situation and want to know what happens next.
Ariana, for example, I'm waiting to hear back about my job application. My friend told me to keep her posted on any news. Or, they're still discussing the new project. Our manager asked us to keep him posted on any decisions.
It's a simple way to ask for updates.
Let's try it out. Ken, are you still planning to organize that charity event next month?
Yes, we're making good progress. I'll keep you posted on the details as they come together.
And that brings us to the end of our 30 common English phrases for everyday use. We really hope you enjoyed learning these essential expressions that native speakers use all the time.
It was such a great journey through phrases that will truly boost your English listening and speaking practice. From go with the flow to make ends meet, these phrases are the real building blocks of natural English conversation.
So how did you do, everyone? Did you know some of these phrases already? Or perhaps you knew all of them, which is absolutely fantastic.
Either way, we hope you picked up some new ways to express yourself more naturally. The best way to master these is to start using them in your own daily conversations.
Try incorporating just one or two new phrases each day, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your English communication skills improve.
If you found this episode helpful for your English fluency and expanding your everyday English vocabulary, please remember to subscribe to English in Comfort Zone wherever you listen to podcasts.
By subscribing, you won't miss any of our episodes packed with more common phrases, speaking practice, and useful tips to help you feel more comfortable and confident in English.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us and allowing us to be a part of your English learning journey.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember that learning English doesn't have to be stressful. Here at English in Comfort Zone, we believe that the best learning happens when you're relaxed and comfortable.
Absolutely. These phrases we've shared today aren't just words to memorize. They're tools that will help you connect with English speakers in a more natural, confident way. The more you use them, the more they'll become a natural part of how you express yourself.
And remember, everyone's English learning journey is unique. Some of you might feel ready to start using these phrases right away, while others might want to listen to this episode a few more times to really absorb them. Both approaches are perfectly fine.
That's the beauty of learning at your own pace. There's no rush, no pressure, just steady, comfortable progress toward becoming more fluent and confident in English.
We'd love to hear from you too. If you have any favorite phrases from today's episode, or if there are other common English expressions you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out to us.
Your feedback helps us create content that's truly useful for your English learning goals. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Until next time, this has been Ariana.
And Ken, reminding you to stay comfortable, stay curious, and keep practicing your English. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode of English in Comfort Zone.